Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today. In today's video I wanted to share with you the fabulous product from Cadence, which is the Handy Lacquered Paints. Now these are an incredible paint in a vast colour range, but they're superior. They're new generation, there's a completely new formula to them, and they are just incredible at what they do. Now I'm particularly using the shade Scarlet here, the beautiful vibrant red that we've got. Again, a variety of colours and more to come in the future we'll be sharing with you. Now this paint as well comes in a really big 250ml tub. Storage for this paint, again, you're going to want to keep it in a nice dry, cool place. It does come with a foil cap on the top with a seal, so always replace that. If your foil gets torn, you can always replace it with cling film or another layer of foil. That just keeps the moisture in there because this again is water-based, as many of Cadence products are. So what we're going to do is, in today's video, I'm going to share with you the application, how this product is applied to the surface, the finish it will give, and the way to get the best results and achieve the finish that you know and love with Cadence paints. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lid straight off the pot here, and I'm going to use it directly from the pot. I'm not going to actually decant anything out. I mean, you can see instantly, look at the colour of that. It is so intense. The intensity of pigmentation with these paints is second to none. I've actually got a ceramic ornament. This is exactly how I purchased it. It's something really inexpensive, but you can be using this onto glassware, ceramics. You could do it onto wooden items. You can go onto any slick surface, anything that's got a smooth, even, sealed surface. If you're going to go onto wooden items, you maybe want to give them a coat of your Cadence Aquastone varnish first. That will seal them. Because of course, if you're doing anything that's porous, it's going to instantly absorb the moisture out of that paint. And of course, with it being water-based, it'll absorb it before it's even had time to dry. So getting that signature smooth, sleek, lacquered finish, of course, will be harder to achieve with that. So give it a seal first, and then you're going to get the perfect coverage. But in this instance, I'm not going to use any primer. We're not going to go in with any gessos. We're going to use the paint straight to the product because, of course, this is putting it to the test and doing it exactly what it says on that bottle. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a flat brush. Now, using a flat brush with your Cadence Handy Paints is a favoured choice, not just by mine, but by Cadence themselves. The reason for that is you want to stroke the paint onto the surface. Going on with the sponge and pouncing it is going to give you texture. Now, as you go on with your Cadence products, that might be something that you want to do. You may want to experiment using a palette knife to create an impasto effect. Maybe you're going to go through a stencil with a brayer. But for this particular process, we want to make this pear look like it's been dipped in enamel paint and create the effect or illusion of glazing medium that you would typically have to put in a kiln and fire it, I don't know, hundreds of degrees, thousands of degrees to get this effect where we can do it in minutes. This is the revolution of Cadence paint. So what we're going to do is going to go straight into the medium, and you can see the consistency of it. It's almost like a syrupy texture, slightly thinner, but look at that brush already. It's like patent finish. It is just incredible. And we're going to go straight to this surface. Again, you can see it's really reflective, shiny, and slick. Straight onto the surface with this paint. Now, looking at that, the coverage is instant. Now this paint self-levels. Now that means already you can see there this paint is leveling to the surface. So as I rotate that round towards you, when you're looking at that, the brush strokes from where we first started to where we ended up have started to disappear. So you can see because we're still putting it on, it's still slightly thicker at the moment. You only need a thin, even coverage. So what I'm going to do is go back into my pot. I'm just going to rest this on my plate here. I'm using a paper plate to catch anything. And then I'm just going to go straight all the way around. I'm just going to use the same motion going from top to bottom with this. So stroking the paint over the surface. Here we go. Now one coat is all that you're going to need. Unless you're covering something that you think may require 2 coats, if it's a really intense colour, that of course you can do and still get the same effect. But as I'm going over this here, you can see how it is instantly just looking as though it's been poured onto it. It's like a balloon. So what I'm going to do is go all the way around the pear with this. I'm just holding this by the stalk because that's probably the easiest way to actually handle this ornament. And I'm going to keep rotating around the edge, dipping into any areas that I may have missed. And you'll notice that from where you very first started to where you finished up will look slightly different. And that's because those brush strokes are starting to self-level. Now, I'm using a very, very old paintbrush for this one, but just look, if I'm going to take this towards you now before we've even finished, look at the finish that we're getting on that. It's just incredible. So I need a little bit more paint here. So before this is dry, I want to still go in and only complete one coat. So I'm going all the way over. But after I've put this on, after about 3 or 4 minutes, it's going to start to set. So we don't want to disturb that, because then we'll drag the top layer of paint off, and it's not going to be the effect that we want. So I'm going all the way around here, making sure to cover all of those areas. I'm covering the whole pair actually with this. I've managed to get the whole way around it in one go. So then I'm just going to go all the way and make sure to cover all of this. Now with your Cadence Handy paints, you want to allow a full hour for these to fully dry, with that process in mind. And after that full hour, it'll then be touch dry. But if you're going to leave it for 24 hours, it'll be fully cured, and they are waterproof. So when you're looking at this pair, I mean, look at that. It is just incredible. This paint has literally glazed the whole surface. And the result that you're seeing here is the result that you end up with once it's dry. The drying process doesn't take the shine away. It doesn't tarnish in any way, shape or form. It is just glorious. But that there you can see, it almost looks like it's been dripped down onto the surface. So this here is your Cadence Handy Lacquered Paints. Again, comes in a variety of colours. It's a one coat finish. It dries just like an enamel without having to paint your pottery and put it into a kiln and have all of that cost incurred. It does it for you in seconds. Now, I'm going to paint the leaf of this, finish it off, and you'll see the photo at the end of it. It is just glorious. And happy crafting using your Cadence. If you want to see more from Highlight Crafts, make sure you click the like button, subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below, and click the bell icon to receive notification of all our future content. You can also click here to see our latest video, or click here to see more videos like this one.